Team pick.
Look at Adroit do pick up the Slark. Now we saw the Slark up against a Lifestealer before. Of course, Slark is basically a direct counter towards the Lifestealer. I do like this from Adroit. So far, the lineup looks very good. It gels together very well. If they can get a decent start going after the laning stage,
10 seconds.
it would be pretty hard for Neon to slow them down.
5 seconds remaining.
Neon, how do you respond to this? Reserve time will tick out for Neon as they do make this fourth pickup. They need a way to ensure this Slark can't just freely roam the map and find kills all over the place. Because there aren't many counters towards the Slark, which is a bit of a problem.
Radiant team back.
With Neon, they'll go for the Storm Spirit, and that's actually decent. You still have the pounce to lock the Storm down. As well as that, you actually have the Jewel to lock the Storm down as well. So Neon, they must be feeling fairly confident in that Storm Spirit. Be able to pick it up into the draft that Adroit already has. Of course, though, with the Storm, you do have a Lifestealer target to infest. You've got that available to you.
5 seconds remaining.
Still, going into a Slark and a Legion Commander with this Storm is very risky indeed. Not that it's that easy to really lock the Storm down, but once you've got him, he is just a sitting duck.
Dire team ban.
The Skywrath ban coming out from Adroit now. One more ban for Neon before we see how this all ends up.
Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
They'll ban out the Quap, and with that, the Centaur will be the final pickup for Neon. So they round off their draft pretty nicely. That Stampede does allow the Lifestealer to break any distance it needs to. Of course, the team fight and control coming out from the Centaur can be quite devastating. And the Slark overall, I don't believe enjoys going up against the Centaur in the lane. The Centaur can always just turn around with Retaliate and dish out a hell of a lot of damage back to the Slark.
5 seconds remaining.
And an Invoker finally does come out today. It's been banned multiple times, but Adroit do manage to pick one up for Mac. See how much influence he can have on this game. I don't mind this Invoker. I mean, it did feel like Adroit were lacking some sort of control or utility in these team fights, but with that Invoker, especially if you do end up going for the Quas Wex build, could be all the control you need. Well, Adroit are somewhat dependent on making sure they have a decent start throughout the laning stage. Otherwise, Neon may just snowball once again. Only time will tell though, as this is going to be the last game of the night for the SEA closed qualifiers. Again, Adroit are yet to pick up a win, so they're desperate to try and pick one up now. Neon looking to 2-0 the side of Adroit if they possibly can. Of course, either side will have a chance tomorrow to try and come back from this this day one that hasn't really gone their way. We'll get into it. Natsumi. Looks like he's heading up top already on the Slark. I doubt he'll stick around there, but no, perhaps he will. Bok, he's going down to the bot lane as that Legion commander.
Nobody wins.
So it looks like Adroit may be running what looks like a tri-lane up top. They'll leave Bok down at the bot lane by himself on the Legion commander. Perhaps just try and get Natsumi an amazing start on the Slark if they possibly can. The scam on the lifestealer not going to be the easiest kill, especially if he goes an early point in rage, which they generally do.
You blew it! Love this part!
I will commit this to memory.
Right, if they can make this tri-lane work, they may just be able to get this Slark going overboard with the farm and just with the snowball in general. See if they stick around with this though.
"30 seconds to battle."
Bot lane is just basically left to side of the Neon to just go get both bounty runes, so there should be a bit of a fight up at top lane as Adroit doesn't appear to be going for the bot bounties. In fact, Adroit looks like they're going to allow 3 bounties to go the way of Neon. They're going to try and contest now. It will actually be a 2-for-2 trade, so Boomy does manage to snag one away from Play Hard on the CM. Of course, he did have the lift to his advantage. So 2-for-2 trade on those bounties. It won't be a tri-lane after all. It looks like they will just leave Natsumi up there with the Chen. So CML will be in charge of keeping the Slark safe. But it's certainly not going to be the easiest lane, especially if RR is planning to stick around. And he certainly is, because he does go for the Poison Sting at level 1. Zveno, just with that Poison Sting alone, is going to be very, very upsetting to go up against as Natsumi. Going to cop a fair bit of damage from RR. We'll go ahead and steal some stacks though. Meanwhile, Play Hard is falling very, very low. He gets a frostbite off, but I believe he's just dead. Overwhelming odds will be there, but it's not going to be enough. And Bok be forced to back off again. Meanwhile, the first courier already going down. CML picks it up on the Chen. And RR is trying to punish. He won't be able to find the kill on this Chen quite yet. A very weird start for both sides. Seem to miss out on very, very close kills. CML just finding a courier so easily like that on the Chen. This is not great news for Neon. There will be a rotation up top from Play Hard now, so we have a tri-lane coming out from Neon Esports, and it looks like they want to go after CML. They'll get the Frostbite off. There's the Open Woods coming out from Skem as well, and CML is going to be the first blood going to the way of Neon. Just a very nice rotation coming out from Play Hard. He was forced to rotate back to the fountain anyway, thanks to that Legion Commander, so rather than TPing back down bot, he just goes up to the top lane and claims the kill. And RR will probably eventually just rotate to the jungle anyway with his Plague Wards. They may just end up leaving Rappy alone up against Bok in the off lane.
Dire's courier has been
CML. Once again, gonna find another courier. This time it's gonna be Skem's courier he finds. It's gonna be his second one of the game already. Skem gonna be a little frustrated about that one. He will try to vent that frustration over onto Natsumi on the Slark. We'll slowly chase him down. Open wounds will be there. They have the frostbite available as well, and he doesn't have a pounce to get out. Natsumi will end up giving his life away to Neon. This is almost a repeat of what happened in game number 1, it feels. Where Neon are just finding these uncontested kills. Of course, we should have a look at that mid lane, which we haven't looked at all so far. But Mac on the Invoker, doing pretty darn well up against the Storm Spirit being played by Yopaj. They've just been trading farm basically, so it hasn't been very active. But he has indeed gone for the Quaswex build. He is applying a bit more pressure to Yopaj now on the Storm. Yopaj is trying to give it back though while all that's happening. Natsumi again falling very low on the Slark, but he does manage to pounce his way out this time around.
Storm Force, double damage.
Yopaj sides with this double damage. He'll just go into the jungle for a bit. The laning stage has been a little bit rough for him. This will allow Mac to just free farm up for a bit. Not so long though, as Yopaj will make his way back after one neutral camp. Top lane. Trilane versus Trilane going on. Neither side wanting to give up any sort of space. 5-minute banner runes will come up and it'll be a 1-for-1 trade at the top rune, but the bot runes are a little different. Neon do find the advantage once again. So a 3-for-1 trade in the end for Neon Esports. Then we try to make a play onto Skem. Not really. They'll just leave him be for now. He doesn't actually have a point in rage on that Lifestealer at the moment, so this is an opening for them to try and go for him, but they won't try quite yet. They may just assume he has a point in rage. Of course, they'd rather go for one of these supports, but Playhard and RR have been sitting back for quite a bit, though RR may get caught out, but they don't go for the pounce. They'll just leave him be. And I'm not sure how valuable this Trilane is for the side of Adroit. The Lifestealer is still out farming Natsumi on the Slark. And you're not really finding any kind of kills here for the side of Adroit either. You're not getting those permanent agility stacks you so desperately want. Meanwhile though, mid, Yopaj gonna go after Mac. Stampede has been committed. Mac still trying to survive, and there is a rotation from Boomy, but they will find the Invoker in the end. Nice little rotation there from RR to make sure they secured the kill. But with that, Neon, they'll try to punish CML up at the top lane. Frostbite will be there, and CML really has nowhere to go but down, and he does indeed do so. Still, Adroit going to be very happy with that trade. Arguably, anyway.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Mac will return back into the mid lane now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yopaj. EMP will not connect. He will manage to zip away. Gonna zip in now. Ara is still around the area and Play Hard comes in, though Frostbite won't be there in time, but they have the Sentry Ward. Mac, can he actually walk his way out of this? Not quite. The stick charges weren't going to be enough. There'll be another kill going to the way of Neon Esports. They're 0-5 right now. Adroit just really falling behind once again. Still just a 1k net worth lead though, so not too big of a deal in terms of gold, but momentum certainly is all Neon.
Much obliged.
Scam just continuing to free farm top. He is by himself, but they're just not making any sort of play towards going after him. He still doesn't even have a point in rage. Just doesn't seem to care. Although Natsumi is keeping up, I was about to say keeping up decently in farm, but looking back, he's only at 2.5k net worth. He's 1k behind Skem. That is pretty bad news if you are an Adroit fan.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Of course, the Centaur, being played by Rappy, has been doing pretty well in terms of farm. Down to the bot lane, looks like Bok has not really been able to shut him down whatsoever. And that third net worth spot is just a bit of a fight between the Storm and the Invoker right now. Basically, 2 out of 3 lanes are the way of Neon.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Droid, look to try and force in that tier 1 tower up the top lane.
Attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
We'll find it, but the bot lane has been taken by Rappy as well on the Centaur, and now Yapaj will go after Bok in the Radiant side jungle, though the rotation from Mac will scare him off. Looks like the CM though has been caught out by Bok and will go down. That'll be the first kill going to the way of Adroit now. Bit of dual damage to boot. Bok, he's satisfied with that. Of course, you would have rathered the Storm, but he got out way too quick.
Illusion.
Natsumi trying to man-fight Skem on the Lifestealer. Adroit gonna go for a gank attempt now onto Rappy. Rappy does get cold snapped up but avoids a tornado. Still, they are slowing him down with this cold snap. Is it gonna be enough though? Bok needs to get that duel off. Rappy kind of playing around with them a little bit. They won't find him though. He'll get out of there safely. Now Mac TP's back into the mid lane. Tries to go after Yopaj, but he just zips out immediately. Natsumi once again just standing his ground up against Skem. The fight of the men, but Natsumi will eventually just back out of there. But he might just return. He'll heal up. He has the Shadow Dance available if he needs to. Looks like the Vanguard recipe of Rappy has been lost. His courier goes down. They find a kill onto the Centaur himself as well, and that's going to be another form of dual damage going to the way of this Legion Commander being played by Bok. So 2-5 now. Adroit are pushing it back a bit their way. They are certainly finding nice little pickoffs for themselves. They do now have the drums up on Natsumi as well in the Slark, so he could certainly start joining in these team fights if he really wants to. There will be a smoke instead from the side of Adroit. Straight down to that bot lane. Yapage trying to go after Bok, but he doesn't realize there's a smoke coming up from the rest of Adroit. Can they catch him out though? They need to get a duel off, and it looks like they'll find it as well. The cold snap from Mac just holding him down. Here comes Rappy though. Hoof Stomp will not be enough to save his Storm Spirit, and now Rappy's going to be the one in danger as the Tornado does connect this time around. EMP will drain all his mana as well, but here comes Skem on the Lifestealer now. He doesn't really do much damage though, but he is very hard to kill off, and it looks like Adroit just don't want to have to deal with this Lifestealer right now. So they'll leave him be. So Mac has Cold Snap again. He's going to go after play hard on the CM and Bok moving forward, but again Skem is just forcing them back. They'll mech up. Boomy going to be alright. Skem, he's falling quite low, but he'll infest into the Hellbear Smasher. And now Tornado EMP going to be there once again, and it connects on 3. It looks like this time they do find Rappy, but Yapage jumps in. It's not going to be nearly enough though as Adroit. They want to just keep going. They have another jewel available on Bok, but they don't quite find the Storm Spirit. Nevertheless, they will be able to take that bot T1 tower. After the fortification, that is. Of course, there is an outpost to be taken. And that is actually both outposts in the control of Adroit now. See if they can maintain it before that 15-minute mark hits. I doubt it though, as Playhard is running to ensure his team gets at least one. Still, the comeback is real from Adroit, a 4-5 now. Net worth lead is less than 1k the way of Neon. Still, Skem has been farming well. He does have the Maelstrom up now on the Lifestealer. Looks like top lane, there is going to be a bit of a fight. The jewel is there onto the CM straight off the bat, but Yapage, he goes after Mac instead. And will Yapage try to help, or try to get a kill, at least punish the side of Adroit, but it may not work out. He does TP at the very least and get himself out, but he's going to lose RR in the process. Stampede will be there, but the Cold Snap and Urn Charge was already placed. So Adroit finding the lead for the first time this game.
Zap.
Bok. Skem gonna move in. Skem still trying to force out this push. The Tornado, EMP, gonna be there from Mac. They got the jewel off as well once again, and here comes Boomy zipping in on the Rubik. Now they found the Centaur, but a massive hoof stomp comes out of Rappy. Play hard with the CM ultimate, just channeling it all the way. But everyone's so darn healthy on the side of Adroit. Still though, Skem, he brought back. He comes straight back into this, but Yapage, he goes down the Storm. Now the Tornado, EMP once again from Mac, just slowing everybody down. They're gonna go try after Bok, but he'll just run out of there. And Neon falling apart in these team fights, it seems. So much so that Skemp felt the need to buy back and get back into that team fight, but it just doesn't work out anyway. They take the T1 tower as well. Natsumi, he'll clean it up on the Slark. And that'll extend their net worth lead to 2k now. Neon, gotta try and slow this game down a bit. It seems like they need more farm to be effective, especially on Yapage on that Storm. Been trying his best, but he just continuously gets caught out by the Jewel of the Legion Commander. And you look over to Mac now on the Invoker, he's setting up for that Aghanim Scepter. Dragon Skull actually suits the Cold Snap build quite well with Mac. It's that added dot damage. Adroit looking to push their issue further. Won't be anyone around down at the bot lane, but they do find Yapage up at the top. He does get pounced on. Can they burst him fast enough? No, not quite. He does barely manage to get out of there. And RR immediately pops the mech to help him out. Adroit now need to get the hell out, as there are a lot of rotations coming in to try and find some sort of punishment towards Adroit. But Neon will not be so lucky. Adroit will start forcing down that bot tier 2 tower. Looks like Adroit are set on protecting this outpost though. They've already got the bot 1 secure. They know Mac's going to be there to make sure it's okay. Got 30 seconds to protect it to get that bonus XP for your team. It looks like Adroit are probably going to find both, though there will be a smoke coming out from Neon, but I believe Bok may have spotted that out. Yeah, they will spot it out. Yapage gets broken straight off the bat, and with that, Adroit, 4 seconds to go. They're definitely finding both the outposts, but now they jump onto CML. He tries to heal up, but he goes down immediately. Now the fight starts though. Mac with the tornado. EMP is there as well, but they have lost Bok on the Legion Commander already, and now Mac is just a sitting duck. Deafening Blast will be there, and that will allow him to get out.
Double damage.
Boomy's still stuck on the tree line. They don't seem to know about it, although no, he gets liftoff into the CM ultimate that he's stolen. Boomy, that's a bit of wishful thinking, sir. Although maybe not. They are going to find the Rubik, but RR maybe traded him back. Natsumi goes after Playhard and does get the kill. Now RR almost going down, but not quite yet. But Mac, he barely finds him in the tree line. Now they found the lifesteal as well. Skem goes down. And Boomy on the Rubik, just with the lift and the CM ultimate, buys his team enough time they could make their way in and win that team fight. And they're still going for more. Yapage, he's got no mana left. He gets cold snapped up with the Spirit Vessel and he's gone. And this is not the Adroit I remember seeing in game number 1. But they certainly woke up. And suddenly Neon just on the back foot, just seemingly not able to get anything out of these team fights. Natsumi will go ahead, clear up that top tier 2 tower. In terms of itemization, Natsumi is looking pretty darn great right now. Looks like Adroit's ready to go for more. Mid lane, play hard, will get out of there just before They spot him out. But Adroit, they can easily just force this team fight for pushing in that tier 2 mid tower. So many auras available on the Slark right now. It's kind of ridiculous how much of the screen it's taking up.
Has fallen. Dire are scanning.
Looks like Adroit gonna get started on the Roshan now. They understand they have the advantage. 5k net worth lead, this is certainly a great time for them. Neon, I don't believe they'll even try to contest. There is pings coming up towards that Roshan pit. The Roshan, though, is being taken quite slowly, to be fair. They do certainly have a chance, and they are moving their way in, though Rappy doesn't get the stun he wanted. Bok will be able to get out of there. In fact, he goes for the jewel onto the Centaur, but Skem is there to try and help out. It is not going to help, though. Skem trying to man fight, but he's doing no damage. Now Yapaj jumps in with the zip, but he's being controlled. In fact, Deafening Blast and the Chaos Meteor will take down Play Hard. They found Yapaj as well. RR, he gets his TP cancelled off by Mac on the Invoker. There's no way he gets out of this one. He's just gone. It's going to be another 4 heroes going down for the side of Neon, and that's going to be a Roshan going to Adroit. Just Mac on this Invoker controlling the whole side of Neon Esports. Mac will actually start dishing out a little bit of damage towards that mid tier 3. Doesn't immediately walk out of there though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Scam. Rage TP. Gonna be fine. Mac though may find RR. In fact, Boomy will just jump in with the blink and the lift. Chaos Meteor will not hit, but it does not matter. And Yapaj, Tornado, it does connect. Bok's gonna be there with the jewel as well. I'm not sure what Yapaj was trying to do on that storm, but it does not pay off for him as they are knocking on the tier 3 towers now. He'll buy back immediately and will zip in once again. But Adroit, do you actually back off here? I don't think you do. In fact, they found Skem on the Lifestealer who just walked in. He literally just gave it to them. And there's the GG call. They've had enough. Alright. Well, that's a strange way to end the game. It does seem like Adroit is just all over this one though, and it's fair enough that Neon don't really want to go on with this any further. But at 25.5 minutes in, Adroit will pick up their first win. And so we do have a tie series 1-1. Nevertheless though, that is going to be it for the SEA closed qualifiers tonight. What a day it's been. Of course, if you did enjoy, it is at MLP Dota on Twitter if you wanted to follow. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, and luckily for me and for you, I'll actually have an analyst with me tomorrow by the name of John X Fire, as some of you may know. So John X Fire and I will be back tomorrow for some more SEA closed qualifiers. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully you all have a good night ahead.